What's up? It's the Brunch Breakdown. Didi out here in Los Angeles. Chris and Dan are in Pittsburgh. Today on the show, Aaron Rodgers is not on our show, but like he's close to Chris and Dan. He's in Pittsburgh now. We're going to talk about that in some fun ways. We got adult summer camps. That's been a trending thing. And there's also some other adult things that I want to talk to you guys about.
Oh,
And then Chris found this topic about testing being optional for future college students. So we're going to chat about that and more. It's the Brunch Breakdown. I hope you're ready for some fun. Dan, let them know where they can find us.
here's where you can find all the fun. You can find it anywhere podcasts are available. And we deliver a new episode each and every Wednesday. Every week, hit follow or subscribe wherever you prefer to listen. And the episode is going to come straight to you to download on the go to take with you wherever you prefer to listen, in the car, on your phone, in the house, one of your speakers in the house, one of the various speakers you have in the house. This is where you can listen to the Brunch Breakdown each and every Wednesday. Speaker of the House. Hello, we are Speaker of the House. Great band name. Full video episodes also available every Wednesday. A little more timely, noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific on our YouTube page, our Facebook page, and on Spotify. Right in the Spotify app, you can watch the video there. We are everywhere on social media at Speaker of the House. And the Sounds of Brunch is the playlist that we talk music each and every week. We put last week's song on there. We keep last week's songs on there. We put this week's songs on there for your listening pleasure. And you can check that out exclusively on Spotify. It gets updated each and every Friday. Kind of.
That's beautiful. Kind of.
Okay.
Oh, man. All right. Well, it's time to get random topics off our chest. Christopher Gates in your beautiful, is that pink? Peach?
I think
What
it's
are we
like a
looking at?
coral,
Mm.
salmon-ish type of deal.
It brings out your cheekbones.
Like a well done salmon. Not like raw salmon. It's like a cooked salmon.
Like an appropriately non-food poisony salmon.
Yes.
Get to YouTube so you can check out this shirt. Chris, get it off your chest.
NPS.
I'm not going to get this shirt off my chest. I'm going to stay with the shirt on, but I'm going to get something off my chest. I really think you guys are going to agree with me on this one. I put this on my list of stuff to talk about over Dan's birthday, which was last month.
Oh.
And this is not a shot at Dan, because I think you're both really going to agree with me.
Okay.
Love when my friends have birthdays. Super happy that you kept living. That's awesome. I think I think you'll agree though that like when it's one of your best friends' birthdays, it gets a little bit annoying. Because if it's truly one of your best friends, that means you are on no fewer than like 8 group texts with this person.
Mm-hmm.
And so then you have to make the decision of, do I wish my friend happy birthday in all of these group texts just to not be the guy who didn't say happy birthday? Or do you just let go and say, I don't care what these people think. I'm gonna text him once, maybe just do it directly, but then you ghost everybody and people are like, oh, what happened to this guy? And so I made a decision this year that I'm gonna tell you happy birthday once. Dan, I don't remember what group text I said it, but I said it. And it's like, this age that we live in now, it used to be all about Facebook, right? Remember how many notifications you used to get on Facebook about birthdays?
Oh yeah.
Especially when it's yours, you get like hundreds of comments. And so there's still like that lingering in the back of my mind too. It's like, oh, you're supposed to wish them happy birthday on Facebook. And then like the Brunch Breakdown group text, and then the Neighbor Boys group text, and then the USC group text, and then it's just too much. So moving forward, if you're one of my best friends and you listen to this podcast, just understand you're getting it from me once. Okay? And if I don't say happy birthday in any of those other texts, doesn't mean I don't love you. It just means I said what I said. Okay? That's all.
Beautiful, Christopher. Yeah, I just send it to the person. All my group texts are on silent. I miss them, other than this one, because like I need to know if we're doing a podcast on Sunday morning. That's the only one that's not like on like, what is it, like do not disturb, so it's got like the little moon. Every other group text, I never even see it because I hate group text. It's honestly the worst. It's quite possibly the worst thing that's ever happened to anyone on this earth is group text. I
Oh,
hate group
Wow.
everything.
Wow.
Everything.
not hyperbole.
Everything.
at
Yeah,
all.
I understand that there's wars going on, there's fires in Canada, all that stuff, but group texting is
Thank you.
worse.
Thank
Just
you.
letting you know. Like,
Thank
yeah.
you.
Yeah, mass shootings, all that stuff, but no, group texting is worse. It just is. Yeah, I hate it. So I never send happy birthday to those. I know when they're I see them when they happen, but no. I'm like, Dan, it's your birthday. Happy birthday, my guy.
Yeah. Of course, I couldn't agree with you more because I go through that same thing. I'm like, everybody else is doing it in this text, but I've already done it. And he knows, but everybody else doesn't know that.
Mhm.
And so sometimes you put a less enthusiastic happy birthday in the group text just to be part of the group. Little HBD.
HBD.
HBD. Right?
That's
But
how
I'm
you
like,
know
what
it's
am-
somebody's like fifth time.
Yeah, right.
HBD.
Right. So it's just like, what are we doing here? Yeah, why are we checking the box for everybody? It needs to be for that person. But yeah, then everybody's like, well, that's weird. He didn't wish him happy birthday. Everybody else in the group did. So I'm with you. I'm with you. Let's one and done it. And let's not have any judgment if you don't see it in your group text because you assume that's been taken care of
Yeah.
elsewhere.
I mean, we're almost 40 or we are 40. So, like,
Yeah, especially at this point, right?
just
No, it's not even that. It's just the fact that like a group text is the same thing as the Facebook shit where it's like some of the people in the group text don't know it's your birthday. They maybe knew your birthday was around it, whatever, and then they get reminded, so then they have to do it. And also the HBD is the reason why I took my birthday off of social media because I started getting those and I was like, if you're sending me HBD, you don't even know what my last name is.
Yeah.
Like, so I took it off there. So now I don't get the notifications on there, which is amazing. And then people who tell me happy birthday actually know it's my birthday and actually care. Because I bet not all the neighbor boys care that it's your birthdays when they come up. They don't. Not all of them.
How dare
Maybe
you.
some, maybe they don't. All of them. I'm telling you. Your USC group your USC group text, I guarantee you, everybody does not care when it's everybody's birthday. It's not true.
That's
It's
the
just
one
not true.
where I'm actually happy that I see other people say it. 'Cause
See?
I'm like, I don't remember.
See?
I don't remember everyone. So then I get reminded. Facebook
tough.
used to remind me, but now that's such a shithole that like you can't keep track of anything. Yeah, Didi has keywords on his phone muted, and HBD is one of them. Don't text it to him, or you're gonna get blocked. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I hope the neighbor boys start a new group text with just Edie in it, and they can tell him how much
Maybe-
they care about our birthdays
Oh,
and HBD on his birthday.
neighbor birthdays. Yeah. But like
I
you don't
won't
have
see it.
you
It'll
don't
be
have
on Do Not
time to
Disturb.
say it. You don't have time to say it. Like that's like people who will email me THX instead of thanks. That's like you left out 2 letters. This not you didn't even save time. Like just say the whole thing.
Yeah. This isn't T9 anymore. We don't need to this is like come on. We don't need to cut too many corners anymore. Let's go.
God, I hate responding to emails that like don't need anything, but you have to write something back. Otherwise, they'll send you something back saying, "Oh, you didn't respond."
Yeah.
For all
It was
those
all-
ones you
It was
don't
all
want
done.
for all the ones you don't want to respond to, Didi, just respond HBD.
I've had to start using confirming receipt on emails in my new job because that's what people
Oh.
do. And I'm like, this is the dumbest thing in the world.
Read receipts.
Yeah. I'm like, we're confirming receipt of your email, but not saying anything. But I'm saying something so you don't email me back saying, did you get my email?
I had an employee once that flagged every one of his emails to me as highly important, you know, in Outlook.
Same.
It's like it's not. I'm just telling you it's not. If
Fair
everyone is highly important, it's not important.
And then
Then
I
I'm
started
not gonna
ignoring
take-
them. Yeah.
Yeah, then I'm not going to take your something that is highly important seriously.
Yes.
It's like the boy who cried wolf.
Boy, what a tangent.
Anyway, yeah.
Classic Brunch.
Happy birthday, Dan.
Dan, get it off your chest.
Certainly. Boys, this weekend, my oldest, speaking of feeling old, my oldest nephew graduated high school.
Hey.
Yes. Big shout out to Austin. It's kind of nuts since I was in college when he was born. And here we are. Old man, look at my life. here we are. He's now graduating high school. Super proud of him. He's off to Duquesne this fall. And my sister may be listening. I tell her, you don't need to listen to the podcast. It's not for you. And she listens anyways. But
Then
she
it
did
is
some.
for her. Hold on, Dan.
It's not. There's certain people it's not for. It's for everybody except family.
No, I'm glad you're here. Thank you for listening, and I'm sorry for whatever Dan's about to say.
Okay. Well, so I imagine she might be. But she did something that might have been on purpose. It might have been unintentional. Maybe she didn't think too much about it. But she kind of threw a brunch graduation party. Yeah.
Mm.
And this was like, first when I got the invitation, I was like, what are we doing? This is early. And then you start to get a little bit of context. You read what's going to be there and you show up and you're like, I think this is a brunch graduation party. And this is awesome. I think this is it. And I think this is exactly what our generation should be embracing by the time our kids graduate high school. We are the generation of brunch. There's no doubt about it. We are the brunch generation. And this is going to be right up our alleys because you're not really throwing a grad party for the kid, right? You are, but you're not, right? Because they seem like they're a hassle for everyone, even the graduate. It's kind of a hassle, right? So here we go. Let's do these things earlier in the day. Give me an 11 to 2, which is exactly what it was, an 11 to 2 graduation party. You have a brunch spread, right? You have a coffee bar. You have a mimosa bar, a Bloody Mary bar. Okay? Just keep it simple. Keep it simple. And then you're also not left over with a ton of extra food that you don't want to eat. Whether it's DIYing it and you're grilling and you're going to have 36 hot dogs left over, or you're bringing in some catering and you're going to have trays of chicken for weeks because you bought too much food. Okay? The brunch spread, that's easy peasy to deal with, right? You're not left with cases of beer that's going to take you months to drink of the same light beer that you try to be, satisfy everybody there, even though it's beer that you don't really like. So I love this idea so much that I'm like, as I was there, I'm like already planning the first brunch graduation party for my future kids who I do not have. I'm already like thinking through, this is how I'm going to do it.
In 2050.
In 2050. Yeah, I can see it now. And it's a win-win for everybody. For the graduate, you get and his or her friends, you kind of do the early party, you get it out of the way, because as you boys, I'm sure can remember, in June, you're hitting bopping around graduation parties every weekend in June. Mm-hmm. This way, if you're the brunch grad party, you start things off, there's no conflict. You don't have to be like, oh, I can't go to yours, it's the same day as mine. You start at the brunch grad party, and then you've got the rest of the day to figure your stuff out at the other parties. And for parents, you now have kind of the afternoon and evening to kind of ease into cleaning up. You've got the whole day basically to clean up and get things settled, rather than at the end of the day, sun's going down, get the chairs, get the tables, get the food and all that. I almost hate giving this strategy away. I really do. I almost kept it secret and just wanted to be, the lone wolf in this, 20 years from now. But this is the future, brunch graduation parties. And I'm excited about it.
That's my favorite time frame to do everything.
There you go.
Like, favorite time for a football game to kick off, favorite time to go take the kids to the zoo, favorite time to go to Costco. Like, that's my favorite time to do everything, is like 11 o'clock.
11 to 2.
Come on. That makes total sense. Yeah, I love that. Did you guys, Dan, you had a graduation party, right?
Yeah.
Didi, did you have one?
Yep.
I didn't have one. Because I was the same way. I was like, kind of what Dan said. It's like it seems like it's a hassle for everybody, and then even people attending. You have like 7 of them to go to in one weekend. It's like a hassle for everybody to attend.
It's a lot.
I think you're onto something here, Dan. I like that. Well, is it your sister's name's Melissa, right?
Correct.
Yeah, Melissa's onto something, and I think this is good. I like it a lot.
Yeah, it gets it out of the way, because I remember the night of because basically every graduation party happens within like 2 weeks, right? So it's like Memorial Day weekend or the weekend after that. And if you don't have your birthday, if you don't have your graduation party during that weekend, you just end up being one of the stragglers that have it when people start going on vacation and shit. And then like
Yeah.
nobody goes to your graduation party. So I remember that night, like I don't remember which ones, but I just remember wanting to leave my graduation party to go to other people's graduation parties. The
There you
whole
go.
time I'm just like at the door, like greeting everybody, like, yeah, thank you, here's the card, da da da, all this stuff. And all I was thinking about, because whatever, you're just a freaking selfish, high school kid. I'm like, I want to go to this. I'm so mad I'm missing this graduation party, even though it's the same thing as ours. It's not like it's some party. It's
Right.
rigatoni and salad and maybe a DJ or maybe music playing, but like it's old people. Like, what was I rushing out of there for? Like, I could not wait. I was like, oh my God, it's almost 6 o'clock. Let me get the fuck out of here. Good God. When's it 6 o'clock? Get out of here. But yeah,
Yeah.
couldn't wait to get out of the Wellsburg Kiwanis Club to go somewhere else, to go to the Fallensby fucking Moose or whatever.
Now, Didi, imagine what that experience could be like nowadays if your dad was the mayor back then.
Oh, boy.
Jesus
It
Christ.
would
Oh,
be
boy.
it would be they would shut the town down.
They would. Street party. All streets. All street party.
Good
What
God.
streets? All streets.
All streets, every street, just shut
The all
down.
streets. The all streets Dudley party.
God. Man, that's the thing. I get
Tell you
so
what.
mad that he's like the mayor now when I live 3,000 miles away. Because
Yeah.
like I don't get any of the perks of being the mayor's kid.
You're the
royal
prince.
son.
You're the
royal-
prince.
Like it's like it sucks. It really sucks. Because I think the last time I was home, we go to breakfast at Bob Evans, which is like in Weird and like coming home from the airport, and he goes to pay, and the guy just goes, and the manager comes up, he's like, Mayor Dudley, your money's no good here. I was just like,
And you're missing out on all that.
yeah, and I don't
You're
get any
missing
of
out on
that.
all that.
None of that. Because I
Wow.
would use that shit and it would be a story on until it was a story on freaking News 9. And fucking that's
Doesn't matter how popular you get and what commercials you're on. He's like, yeah, but did you have to pay for your breakfast this morning, son? Because I bet you did.
No,
Bet you
Didi.
did. I don't.
Yeah, Didi would take advantage of it.
Oh,
And then
big time.
he would end up on like WTOV 9. The Prince of Wellsburg was arrested for shoplifting or something.
I'm the mayor's son.
Hot news, Burb of the Berg.
You know who I am?
He's like Jameis
Oh.
Winston stealing crab legs. That would
Yeah.
be everywhere.
Dude, everywhere. Oh, boys. All right, gotta get this off my chest. To all my millennials out there, I just want to tell you guys, if you listen to music from 2009, that is what we would like to call an oldie. It is an oldie. You are listening to the oldies, okay? And I want you to understand that. And this is what bothers me, is because I'm on this group text with a few of my friends from Wellsburg, and we send each other old songs. And I sent a song from 2010 and got flamed in this message. I was like, yo, that was 15 years ago. He's like, oh, man, it's not old. I was like, guys, 15 years ago is an oldie. And then I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, am I crazy? And I'm like, no, I'm not crazy. Because if you ever thought, as a person who was born in 1985, 86, 87, have you ever thought of a Michael Jackson song as being new to you? Nope, you haven't. Have you ever thought of a Prince song as big? Have you ever listen to Purple Rain and been like, oh yeah, that's my generation? You haven't. So guys, guess what? Kid Cudi songs are now oldies. Kanye songs are now oldies, ladies and gentlemen. Those Mac Miller songs that play all the time, oldies, guys. Oldies. 15 years. Maybe even less than that, but I'll go 15. Oldies.
Less than that.
I'm not. I don't subscribe to this line of thinking, Didi.
Oldies.
you
We
can
are
shout-
listening to the oldies.
You can
And
shout that word as much as you want.
No. You're listening to the oldies. You're like, you may think it's like different because you only listen to it on Spotify, like you're listening to it, whatever. It's like so easy to access the music, but guys, it doesn't matter. You're listening to the oldies. Sorry. You listen to that song from 2008 you love so much. You're listening to the oldie station, my friend. It's what it is.
So
Just think back to your life and be like, what was an oldie? And then do the math. And they're like, oh shit, I'm listening to the oldies.
I think we all define words different ways.
As Merriam-Webster once said, we all define words different ways.
Because when I think about oldies, I think about like 3WS here in Pittsburgh.
That's exactly what I was going to say. I was going to say I go by the oldies definition of what 94.5 3WS declares as oldies, and that's
When's
the
last time you
Bible.
listened to it?
That's
When's
the
the last
Bible.
time you listened
No,
to it?
I know.
Last time I went to a doctor's office.
So
And I bet
listen,
you heard like "Run This Town" by Kanye, Jay-Z, and Rihanna.
that's ridiculous. No.
Oh.
I remember listening to that radio station when I was a kid, and the songs that were on that radio station were from like the 50s, 60s, 70s, right? And that was in the late 90s, early 2000s. So that's more like
Yeah.
20 to 30 years old, not so much like 10 to 15, like Dee Dee's saying. I think you're a little bit ahead of it.
I'm
You're not
not.
far off,
I'm not ahead of it.
but you're a little bit ahead of it. Because like, yeah, I mean, like, it's not like we're not talking about. I'm trying to even think of who was on that radio station back then.
Michael Bolton. Well, he is now. So now I feel like it's 70s, 80s, 90s is oldies.
Yeah, that feels
Bon Jovi. He was on 3WS a lot.
Yeah, like
Multi-gen.
definitely the 80s rock era is oldies now. Is grunge oldies? Probably. Like 90s grunge?
Little Nirvana.
100% oldies. Like
That probably is.
"Ride with Me" by Nelly. Oldies.
No.
No, see, I'm not there. I'm not
25 years old, guys. What are we doing?
Mm-mm.
25 years old.
We have to get to 2030 before we say anything in the 2000s is an oldie.
Like, okay, Destiny's Child. Oldies. Beyonce's the only person that I can think of that could possibly be relevant now and be on the oldie station at the same time. It's impressive.
I think
impressive.
that's part of it. I don't think you can be putting out music regularly and also be an oldies. Like you have to put out like, oh my gosh, they're putting out their first single in 15 years,
Dude.
but they're on the oldie station. So I think you have to be out altogether. Beyonce can't be dipping toes in multiple pools. I mean, she can, but she shouldn't be in the oldies pool.
Can I tell you what AI says?
No. But yes, please.
Well, I asked it, so I'm saying it. There's no set number of years a song needs to be old to be considered an oldie. It's generally considered to be a matter of personal perspective, but it often refers to music from the 50s and 60s. Some people nowadays might also include music from the 1970s and the 1980s.
I think that's a good question. Like, does the oldies scale like shift? Or is it just everything? It just accumulates. It just get bigger and bigger and bigger. That seems insane.
Although I guess
we need another word for like older, like
classic.
Oldies.
Classic.
Yeah,
okay.
Classic is what that turns into. It goes from oldies to just like classic.
The classics.
Yeah.
Boy, there's some music that got put out in the 70s and 80s that should never be deemed classic, but I guess it will based on this definition. That's a shame. In 90s, for that matter. Oh boy.
Yeah, in all the decades.
We'll be
have their
grandpas
own-
will be like, put on the classics. That 1994, Alanis Morissette. Put on that classic.
Yeah, Petey Pablo fires up. The classics.
Guys, 20.
Oh,
It will be
years
that.
old.
We're not there yet.
We're there.
boy.
Well, let's get to Brews Day, gentlemen.
Let's do it.
Christopher, what are you sipping on?
I don't know. Come back to me. I don't know.
Chris is surprised we do this podcast every single week. You just
I'm more prepared than last week, but I did forget about Brews Day.
the funny thing is the regular segments that we literally have done for 300 episodes in a row are music and beer, and he's the least prepared for those each and every week, and they never change. We're putting stuff on the menu 12 hours before we hit record. Somehow he's prepared for that. But what were you listening to and drinking? I have no idea. Come back to me next week.
The answer's the answer's nothing. I got nothing.
This
Just
guy.
you two go. I got nothing.
This guy.
Yes.
All right. So went to my favorite barbecue spot in LA, and I got Tarantula Hill Brewing Company. Friday, Siobhan was off because Saoirse had a school play, and we went to lunch and ate a ton of barbecue at like noon. And I had a Tarantula Hill, and it was amazing. And just, yeah, so Liquid Candy IPA is what it is, but Tarantula Hill Brewing Company, and it's great. So, yeah, there you go.
I didn't know Cookout served beer. Driving out through the drive-thru in a Cookout. The place looks like it's always on fire. Smoke's pouring out of it. Oh, I love a good Cookout. Well, I guess I'll go next since there's nobody left.
Yeah.
Here's one that hasn't made the program in a while. Abjuration Brewing in Pittsburgh. They're very experimental, and I appreciate the hell out of them for that. And they've got an ice cream sour series that they really ramp up in the summertime. And one that I had this weekend was basically, they call it a pineapple right side up cake because it doesn't include the cherry, and it's cooked differently because of the sugar and the syrup and whatever. Regardless, basically a pineapple right side up cake and ice cream.
Damn.
Incredible. Pineapple, cakey, creamy. You get the sweetness in there, not too much. They nail this stuff. It's liquid dessert. It makes no sense, but it's so wonderful. Pineapple right side up cake, ice cream, all together in a sour. Abjuration. They don't fool around, man. They don't fool around. It's good times.
Love it. Well, that is what we're sipping on. Cheers, gentlemen.
Cheers.
Except for Chris. Just thumbs up.
I highly considered having a beer yesterday and then forgot. So that's the best I got for you this week.
I hate when that happens.
I hate when I leave my coffee. Like I leave my coffee in the microwave all the time.
Yep.
All the time. Just go to reheat it and just forget it, and then see it there like 2 days later.
Yes, like,
Forgot about that. Damn it. Anyways, let's get into the main menu, boys.
Sure.
So, all right. So, Chris, you brought this to the world here. Testing's optional for future college students. What's going on there?
Yeah, so I saw this post on Instagram, I think, and it was this girl who got accepted to Harvard, and they were like, why did you apply here? Why did you decide to come here? And she talked through the process, and she was like, I applied as test optional. And I was like, what? And like, I work at a university. I've never heard of this. And so I went to get all the details, and I was like, okay, we got to talk about this. So I'm going to read to you the information I found. Test optional, when you're applying to a college or university, means you are not required to submit SAT or ACT scores as part of your college application. If you choose not to include test scores, the school will still consider your application for admission based on other factors. Colleges have moved to test optional policies to reduce barriers for students, focus more on GPA, coursework, extracurricular, and essays, and acknowledge that test scores aren't always the best predictor of college success. The universities that I could have gotten into based on that criteria are, I could have been the kid in that Harvard video. Okay, it's unbelievable. So that's the first place my brain went into is like, how much softer are we gonna get, boys? How much softer are we going to get? Your test scores don't matter. But then I started thinking about it. I was like, well, your boy sucked at tests, okay? Only paid attention in the classes that I was interested in. And if some universities had programs that I was interested in that I could have gotten into by just showing them how interested and good at it I was, then that would have been awesome. So I'm kind of torn. And I was like, we got to talk about this because, like, I see good. And I see good and I'm annoyed at the same time is basically where I landed.
I didn't like even believe this when you sent this to us that we're like already doing this, that this is already a thing. Maybe in the future, sure. And like Harvard of all places, this is like,
Right.
you know, we really don't need that. We really don't even worry about it. Don't even worry about it. You're the smartest ones here, and taking a test is a walk in the park for you. So you guys can skip it. I'm with you. I'm kind of mixed. I have mixed emotions here because it is kind of ridiculous that so much is put into one test. Now the test covers everything, but so much is put into one test one day. You can take it a couple of times. It costs money to do it. You have to do this stupid training and these stupid books. It's like I put 4 years into my application. How about that? How about you look at that a little bit heavier? So I like that. But also, that's some bullshit. That's some bullshit. I'm a little peeved right now because, Chris and I, we got into Hawaii Pacific, but maybe we could have just got to Hawaii.
Everybody's got to
The
stay
University of H. Maybe we could have got in there. Testing optional.
Here's the thing that I love this because honestly, when you look at the schools that like people are mad about doing this, because if like random state schools, West Virginia decided to do testing optional, no one's gonna give a fuck. People only care about this because Columbia, Northwestern, Princeton, they do testing optional, right? So, and I know I'm somebody who wanted to go to Columbia, but I didn't really start paying attention to to what I should have done in high school until like halfway through. So that really wasn't going to work for me. But testing optional would have opened the door for me. Probably would have gotten to Columbia. But I've always thought it was stupid that like one Saturday morning where you have to get up at 7 a.m. and just be on your shit defines the rest of your college life. And also, when it comes to kids going to Harvard and shit like that, like I wasn't applying to Harvard, right? You know who you are if you're applying to Harvard, right? So those kids are more than likely extremely smart, probably have straight A's of everything, probably have all the things possible. And I don't think just because you didn't get the right ACT score or the right SAT score doesn't qualify you to go to a prestigious school. You know what I mean? Especially if you were like the shit all the way through, but then that Saturday morning, you just weren't as good as some of these other people who take tests great. So like I think it's cool that there's testing optional, I know it's like a thing on the internet that people like lose their mind over or something, but like to me it's like you think about it. It's like that makes sense. Because like, some people are really fucking smart. They just had a bad day,
Yeah.
That's
It's mind-blowing to me that we got so far as to testing is optional before they were like, pick the SAT or the ACT. Why do we have two? Why do we have two? They skipped that step of being like universal. This is the test, and they're like, forget both of them. Forget them both. They didn't even get there. They skipped that step.
Yeah, I mean, school is at the end of the day kind of, it's gonna be interesting, man. Especially with like our kids going into school, like what they're going to be focusing on and being like how they're going to be evaluated because they're going to live in a world where they can ask AI anything and get the answer to it. So like you don't net really like, does it help to know basic math? Yes. Do you need to know calculus or trigonometry? No. Like, does it help to take English class and learn grammar and punctuation? Yes, but will all of your computers for the rest of time do that for you correctly? Yeah. You know? Like, so it's gonna be weird. So if my daughter has to like submit an English paper, a term paper, and it has punctuation errors and she gets like a C on it, but it's just because they wouldn't let her run it through like Grammarly or ChatGPT to like clean everything up, then what are we doing? This is a weird era that we're going into. So I don't know how you're going to evaluate. Like there are some things I think like if you're going to do science, like yeah, you got to know what you're doing because you can't be in the lab mixing shit up and then I should ask ChatGPT. No, you don't got time to do that. Okay. But for some of this stuff, it's like I don't even understand how it's going to evolve.
I think about typing, right? Because I saw a couple months ago this like Duke professor, like he has like a social media account and like he He has a lot of followers, and he just like asked basically for like asking students like just different random questions and shit. And there was like a orientation going on, and he asked like incoming freshmen like what is something that upperclassmen think are cool, but like they're not anymore. And it was really funny. And one of the kids said, "Oh, laptops. We use iPads now."
Hmm.
And I was like, "Oh my God." All these schools, they all get tablets when they go into whatever grade. They get a tablet they take home. That's where their homework's on. So that is what you're doing your shit on. So like in however many years, especially with our kids, like are they going to have they know how to type? Will they ever have to type? They're the touchscreen generation. My car is touchscreen. So like everything is touchscreen to them. I just wonder because like everything was typing. We did typing classes in school. Like that was so important to be able to type. And now I'm like, when will they be like, oh yeah, here's a keyboard for what?
Yeah. They're just gonna talk to text, talk to type. I don't think there's gonna be typing at all. Like
Yeah, this is how they're going to submit essays right here. This is just they're talking it through.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
I think that's how it's going to be. I think we're going to be living in a world where like, you remember you guys were like saying how you're pissed that like kids are walking around with one earbud in. Imagine how pissed you're going to be when you're walking down a sidewalk and everybody's just talking in sentences because they're texting it to somebody or it's like reading it to somebody and then gets back to them. And it's like people, it's going to be weird, man.
The essay that you have to submit, because you said that they're still doing like your work, your GPA and your work, and then the essay, right?
Yeah,
Which
they
I
have
also
to
hate.
evaluate something.
They have to evaluate something. They're using the essay. The essay should have to be submitted in cursive. That's the rule. That's the rule. Give us that. Give us that. Must be in cursive.
Dude, the only problem is when you were doing this, I was just like, shit. That just means every essay is going to be a podcast. I would have went to Harvard.
Yeah.
Like,
submit your essay podcast to this URL by this date, this time, and they're gonna be taken over.
God.
Oh man.
Well, yeah. I don't know. I guess I wonder what really smart people feel about this because I just know for me, I'm like, this. I could have came up with this shit. So.
Yeah, really smart. Yeah, I don't know.
Keep it down. I'm trying to say my essay.
Your little brother or sister keeps coming in and saying words. Keeps fucking up all your shit.
It's like poop, poopy, bum.
Oh God. All right. Aaron Rodgers, you guys.
Who?
Your friend. Aaron Rodgers is now Pittsburgh Steelers. So I need to ask you guys, like, where is he in the Pittsburgh sports Mount Rushmore? Where does he sit? Is he like it's like Roberto Clemente, Aaron Rodgers, Mario Lemieux? Like, where are we at now, guys? How we feeling?
He's on the Mount Washington. He's not so much on a Rushmore.
Who's on the Mount Washington?
Put him on the icy light sign up there.
Yeah, he's looking the other. He's looking the other way.
Rodgers.
Nigel Morgan, Coco, was it Coco Reese?
Pokey
Reese.
Like Darius
Pokey Reese.
Kasperitis. Like who else?
Yeah.
Who's down there? Who's on the Mount Washington?
Oh man, what a question.
It would be interesting to think
Peter
about.
Nedved, Ian Moran.
Oh boy, yeah. It would be interesting to think about like athletes that have come here for like a year, right? Like best 1 year in Pittsburgh of all time,
Ooh.
and he hasn't had his year yet, so he could be nowhere near that discussion. I am. This is kind of like the testing thing, actually. Like I'm annoyed, and I'm also like intrigued. The reason I'm intrigued is not like you guys know my thoughts on Aaron Rodgers. I just don't like the dude. Okay,
Wisconsin's favorite son. That's you. It's your boy.
yeah.
You, Giannis, Aaron.
Katie's family was actually telling me on our we do a family phone call on Saturdays. They were telling me that I, as one of Wisconsin's native sons, need to welcome Aaron to Pittsburgh. So I got to get his contact information because
You're in the welcoming committee.
he's one of Wisconsin's native true sons. So am I, and the only other one is Giannis, and he's still in Milwaukee. So
He might be on his way out.
it's up. It's
So
up to me. Well, hey, come start a basketball team in Pittsburgh. You'd be more than welcome.
here we go.
Um, yeah, I'm like, he's not my favorite person, and it's not even because of like the political stuff or the ayahuasca shit or anything like that. I just find his personality to be like distasteful. He just always has come off very arrogant to me. And like when he's on football teams and the team is not doing well, it's not his fault. Couldn't be his fault. It's then we got to fire the coach. Then we got to change the coordinator. It's like, oh, the quarterback coach isn't listening. It's never him, right? And then he's sitting by himself on the bench and then he gets asked about it. And it's like, oh no, I mean, I always sit there. No, you don't. You talk to your teammates most of the time, dipshit. So like, I just don't like his personality. So I'm not, I didn't want this to really happen because of that. I will say though that like on the pro side of it, I don't think this is going to help the Steelers be anything remarkable. So I don't think they're going to turn into like a contender. Because he's a 42-year-old quarterback that's going to play behind no offensive line. Like if Kenny Pickett couldn't run away from people, Aaron Rodgers is not going to be able to do it. Okay. I think they're more interesting. Like I will tune in because I am interested in seeing how this plays out. Because prior to Aaron Rodgers signing with the Steelers, I was telling people this might be the least interesting Steelers team ever in my life. Like ever in my life. Even in the 90s or like the 2 or 3 years when Cowher was here and the Steelers sucked, but like Cordell Stewart was like messing around doing the slash thing. Like there were interesting players. Going into this year, it was like we had DK Metcalf for no reason. Nothing else on offense. Mason Rudolph starting quarterback. TJ Watt, as good as he is, hasn't made a difference because the rest of the team shit. Like it was going to be the least interesting Steelers team I could ever remember. Now it's at least interesting to watch. So there's like pros and cons, but I don't think it's going to work out.
Yeah, in all of my years of being a dedicated and loyal Steelers fan, there's only one season that I can recall, because similar to what you were saying there, Chris, where I was so uninterested in the team that I willingly did not watch games. I used Sundays for other activities because I was that disconnected. And it was the year Ben Roethlisberger got injured and Mason Rudolph became the starting quarterback and then was benched for Duck freaking Hodges. At that point, Sundays were for other things. And that's where we were going this year with Mason Rudolph, where I thought I may have some free time on Sundays because I really might not care about this team knowing they're going nowhere. We've seen Mason Rudolph before. We know the ceiling. Okay? This provides intrigue where it's going to be a circus and I'm not going to want to look away. And at least Aaron Rodgers provides there's a chance we could win a game, no matter what the score. So there is that. What I'm not looking forward to, and look, over my shoulder, yes, there's a Green Bay Packers helmet next to a Steelers helmet. I grew up rooting for Brett Favre. That's a Brett Favre helmet. And therefore, I became an Aaron Rodgers fan in Green Bay. Yeah, both of those guys have completely fallen out for me. Not great. This helmet, not great right now. But there was a turning point for Aaron where his personality just, I think maybe we saw who he actually is way more than we did before. And so like as a person, no, because that's what I'm not looking forward to is what happens between Monday and Saturday is all the talk that's going to happen between him, Mike Tomlin on the Pat McAfee show. He's going to be they're all buddy now, but it's going to turn into a circus and I'm not going to enjoy that portion of it. But at least it will be interesting. And we'll just see the same thing that we've seen for the last 8 years. Get into the playoffs, lose the first round. So we already know the result. It's fine.
Hey man, at least you're fun. That's the thing. It's all about being entertaining. And this was like, I felt like this was like the worst kept secret in the world because I knew, like anybody with a brain knew that Mason Rudolph was not going to be the Steelers starting quarterback. So it was like almost, and they were just standing pat. It's like, all right, he's coming. It's just like he's not going to show up until training camp, which also fine. It's like whatever, do what you got to do and then go. But yeah, apparently he said, because there was a report that was like last year he went to Egypt or something.
Right.
And he got all this bad press and he was like actually upset about it. And so he told the Steelers, I'm going to go do what I got to do and then I'll sign and then I'm all yours after I sign. But apparently he signed with the Jets and then like went to Egypt and people were mad about it and he was like very upset and that, ruined his juju or whatever the fuck that guy does.
Yeah, he got an excuse, quote unquote, for missing mandatory minicamp in OTAs, and so he was like, I'm not doing that again because I actually do have some personal stuff to deal with. I'll wait till that's in a better place so it doesn't seem like I'm just signing and skipping out because I don't want to go through that mess again. So it was definitely the worst kept secret. But of all the options out there, that's the thing that I think Steelers fans are talking about. Who would have given us a better chance? Kirk Cousins? No. Hell no, brother. Hell no.
I might have rather had Matt Stafford.
Oh yeah.
Whoa, yeah, but he was never coming.
That was a fun week.
He was never coming.
That was a fun week. Yeah.
That was the one time where I was
nice leverage play.
I'm going to be a Steeler fan again, and then that didn't last very long.
Yeah.
No, that was never coming. The only reason I know this is because Siobhan follows Kelly Stafford, right? Like on the internet. Yeah. And she's like, Kelly Stafford ain't going to Pittsburgh.
No.
Yeah. And then she's like, and then I remember it was like New York, because apparently New York like offered him more money than the Rams did. And she's like, she ain't going there. Because all that woman did was bitch about Detroit. So like his last year's Detroit, she just complained about Detroit. And when they went to LA, she just complained more about how Detroit was. I was like, that woman ain't leaving Los Angeles.
Yeah. No way.
She's done.
Yeah.
So. but shouts to Aaron Rodgers. I hope it's fun. That's all. Just give me some fun.
I mean, as a city, we're pretty used to like once football season starts, if you win football games, nobody gives a shit. So like,
oh yeah, all of what has occurred over the past 3 months will have been forgotten when he goes out and beats the Jets week 1.
I'm telling you though, boys, not that I want this to happen, but I kind of want this to happen. If Kenny Pickett comes in here and beats Aaron Rodgers,
it's happening.
I'm gonna celebrate fucking hard. Like I'm gonna celebrate hard on the internet. I might buy a Kenny Pickett jersey for I'm just telling you, this is totally a setup. Happening. This is a setup for the Steelers potentially getting their dicks kicked in. And I would understand it.
Yeah, week 6, it's happening. He's coming in to Pittsburgh and winning.
You guys are weird. This is weird. I'm very disinterested in this NFL season already because I was thinking about that this week and I was like, okay, like Chiefs, are they gonna go back again? So it's another story of them. Then the other story is like, doesn't matter what Lamar does. Doesn't matter what Josh Allen does. Like, think about all the things where it's like, it doesn't matter what any of these people do. Everyone's going to be like, well, they had a great regular season. What are they going to do? And that's all it's going to be all season long. And so Aaron Rodgers at least gives us something fun to talk about until
it's a good reason. It's a good reason to not talk about the Cowboys. How about that?
That's another team. It's like, it's like, all right, what are you gonna do? Like
a lot of national attention on the Steelers this year, regardless of record.
Yeah,
can't wait.
All right, boys. Well, let's get into music. What do we listen to this week, boys? What we got?
Just don't go to me first, okay? You know it's not gonna go well. Just go to somebody else first.
Goodness gracious! All right, that'll be me then. Of course, I'm gonna start off with. Speaking of Mount Rushmores, if there were to be a Sounds of Brunch Mount Rushmore. Teddy Swims would be on the Mount Rushmore.
Jesus Christ.
Oh my goodness. And his new single, God Went Crazy. So he's giving us the complete collection is on the way of I've tried everything but therapy. We have part one, we got part two earlier this year, and now the complete collection is on the way. Hoping we get at least maybe one or two more in addition to God Went Crazy. And I mean, the guy just gives chills. He really does. He's unbelievable. So happy for him. Teddy
Yeah,
Swims.
we're getting 5. He put out the
Five.
thing. Yeah, we're getting 5. Yeah, we're getting
Oh,
5.
I'm not
new
ready for
songs
5,
on
brother.
June 27th. We're getting
Jeez.
5 new songs.
He's
Well,
unreal.
counting God Went Crazy. But yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, God Went Crazy is awesome. Like, I just love that song. And
Yeah.
You want to see him? He's playing Pittsburgh twice in like 2 weeks or something.
I know. Yeah, no, they like sold out like way quicker than we thought, and now they're using this demand level pricing, and it's like the cheapest ticket to get in is $250.
Wait till last minute.
That's the plan.
Yeah,
On
wait till
standby.
last minute.
Yeah.
All right. So I am going to go with, since Dan stole one of my picks. I've been watching this show on Netflix called Forever, and it's awesome. Love story. It's great. And the soundtrack, like whoever the music supervisor is for this show, fucking like shouts to you. I'm putting on here Blessed by Daniel Caesar. That song is amazing. Go
Oh.
dance with your wife in the kitchen.
There's a name
Get
I haven't
anyone's
heard.
around.
That's a name I haven't heard in a minute.
But yeah.
Daniel
Yeah, dude.
Caesar. Oldies station.
Blessed by Daniel Caesar. Chris, what are you listening to, man?
Speaking of oldies, another one, hot one coming right at you, boys. You remember the band Cartel?
Of course.
Yeah.
Band in a Bubble?
Yeah.
They were famous real quick and then disappeared. They are back this summer. They are touring this summer for the 20th anniversary of their Chroma album, and they're actually re-releasing Chroma. They re-recorded it, re-releasing it. So it's not like they just like touched up the old tracks. They're actually redoing and recording all the old songs.
Nice.
And so last week they put out Honestly, which is the first song off of Chroma, and it sounds really, really good. And so then I went back and listened to Chroma and got all the nostalgic feels. So that's we'll put that one on the playlist. They're probably playing it at adult summer camps, which hopefully we'll talk about next week.
Next week.
Yeah.
week.
I have so much.
That's a tease.
I have so much to say about this.
So do I. So next week
Yeah.
we'll get on it.
Are we on the air next week?
Oh, yeah, that's a good question. 2 weeks.
Probably not.
Yeah,
Can say that now.
Probably
So
not.
everybody doesn't think Apple Podcast is an issue again. We'll be together, but not with microphones. So
Yes.
we'll be back in 2 weeks. Next one up for me is from a little group called The Favors. And if you're saying, who the hell are The Favors? You're correct. But you'll know who's in The Favors. Brand new duo made up of Phineas,
Okay.
Billie Eilish's brother, and Ash, who is no stranger to the sounds of brunch, ASHE. And they've created this new group called The Favors. And I'm actually really, really liking what I'm hearing. Okay.
Pretty good.
Pretty good. I've always liked Ash's sound a lot, and Phineas has always just kind of been like, okay, fine. Your solo stuff's fine. But I think this is going to bring out the best in him musically, where he's actually singing, performing. So their song is called The Little Mess You Made. So check out the newest and very first song from The Favors.
Okay. My girl Jessie Murph has
Oh.
an album coming out in July. She put out a new song called Touch Me Like a Gangster. I love all 3 singles off of this, and plus the remix to Blue Strips. To Blue Strips. I just love this shit, and it's awesome. Touch Me Like a Gangster, Jessie Murph. She's awesome. So check it out.
All right, my next one, Dan, you're gonna love this band because of how they disrespect vowels.
Hey.
Let's go. I'm in. I'm in
Oh my
already.
God.
This band is called Friend Circle. There are no vowels in that. FRND.
Oh, I'm aware. Yeah.
RCL. Yeah, they're awesome.
Yes.
They put out a new album last week called Jersey Fresh, but don't type that in because you're not going to find it. It's JRSYFRSH. What happened to vowels?
We don't need them. Optional.
No
like
need.
test scores. Optional.
I guess they're a vowel optional band, and they're like of this new wave of pop punk. They are like party pop punk. They're a party punk band, and I really, really like them. So I'll put the first song to the album. It's called "Shut Up." I'll put that on the playlist. But like they use vowels in the track names. So what's going on? Shut up. SHUTUP.
Love it.
I'll just continue
Vowels.
this conversation by myself.
Vowels optional.
Yeah.
Vowels optional. Let's see. My turn. Last one up for me.
Yeesh.
Dee, you put one on from this guy a couple of weeks ago. Because he's kind of been like in no man's land for the last, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 years. John Bellion.
Oh yeah.
John Bellion.
Yeah.
The album's out.
Yep.
By the name Father Figure. And the title track, Father Figure, is very interesting. This, like, I mean, he's typically blending kind of hip hop, pop, R&B a bit. And this song just does it in the most tonally interesting way. And it's really, really good. It's really, really good. I'm excited to dig into the album a little bit more. A little nervous, but maybe JB's back. Maybe he's back after all. John Bellion, Father Figure.
All right. Well, as I told you, I've been watching this show on Netflix called Forever. Here's another song from it. It's called Miss You by somebody named Arthur Wimble. Song came out in 2018. I'd never heard it.
Oldie. Sounds like an oldie artist.
No, 2018.
Like Engelbert Humperdinck.
No.
Arthur.
Oldies artists. Kid Cudi. Run This Town. Jay-Z. Rihanna. Kanye West. 2009, guys. 2008. 2009. Heartless by Kanye West. Yeah, these songs. Akon. Oldies artists. You guys stopped. I didn't get out.
No, because you don't insult my cousin Akon, okay? Don't do that.
Oh, hold on. Put it on the playlist. Akon and Rascal Flatts.
Nope.
What is that song called?
Don't make Dan hate
Give me a
Akon.
second. Hold the Umbrella. Rascal Flatts and Akon came out a month ago. Yeah.
Oh yeah, right.
Very
Rascal
much
Flatts
so.
Are back, right?
Yeah.
Hell out of here.
Back. Very much so. Could be the worst song of 2020.
Thank you. You corrected yourself. If you said song of the summer, we were ending this episode immediately. It'd have been ended right there.
I am sending you guys this video right now. So, anyways,
No.
yeah. I just need you guys to watch I need you guys to see the video.
Brunch breakdown
I need
group
you to
text.
see how much plastic surgery the lead singer from Rascal Flatts has had in the last few years. I need you to see it all. I need you to see it all. So yeah, Hold the Umbrella, Akon, and Rascal Flatts. But anyways, Christopher, give us your last one.
Did I send you guys that video on Instagram of Akon talking about ringtones?
Yeah.
Dude, what a fucking genius.
Amazing.
So smart. Hot Mulligan put out a new song.
Hey, Hot Molly.
And it's called And a Big Load. So I haven't listened to it yet, but that's the name of the song. I just want to point out that we were on Hot Mulligan 5 years ago.
Long time. Yeah.
Yeah.
They had like 20,000 listeners on Spotify. They're approaching 1 million. Okay, so when I toss these ain't shit bands at you, like every once in a while, one of them turns into something massive. Hot Mulligan is massive, and it's cool to see.
We need to do a playlist of people that the Brunch Breakdown,
Yes.
discovered.
Yeah.
Because like Teddy Swims on this playlist, Hot Mulligan's on this playlist, like
The Aces.
not one motherfucker was like Teddy Swims is going to be the person that he just
Except for
broke
me.
the record for the longest time a song has been in the top 10 on the Billboard Hot 100 of all time. Lose Control is still on the radio. It came out yesterday.
It's insane.
Like, it's wild. The reason why his concert tickets are so expensive, because people like my parents want to go see Teddy Swims.
Yes.
Like, it's mind-blowing. But anyways, yeah, we need to do that one of these weeks in
I like
the summer when we got, we need to put a collection of people and then look where they are now. And it's because of us.
Yeah, that's the point you missed when you were saying like, why do people like your parents want to go see Teddy Swims? You're welcome.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. That's the answer.
You're
It's
welcome.
us.
Well, that is the Sounds of Brunch. Well, blah blah blah. That's what we're listening to. Make sure you check out the Sounds of Brunch playlist on Spotify. Updated every week with new songs and the old songs from the week before. They're on there too. Tell Siri, tell Alexa to play the Sounds of Brunch. Boys, this has been another great episode. Another episode where we didn't talk about something that I talked about at the beginning of the show. But that's always fun.
Well, at least the menu's partially done for a couple of weeks from now.
So there you go.
Episode.
We know
that's always a bonus.
Adult summer camps is coming. Anyways, any final thoughts?
Yeah, the menu is always topic optional. Last week, Dan, I was Sounds of Brunch optional, so I will send you all of the songs.
You will
today.
This week and last week. I want them right now.
I will send them to you right after we stop recording.
Wonderful.
And boys, I'm sad that next week will be podcast optional, but I'm excited to see both of you in the flesh.
Yes. It will be. It will be. Maybe get a little selfie action going together. Put that up on the socials.
Ooh, we're actually going to take a picture. Dude,
I'm
so bad at taking pictures now.
Cover photo. Yeah, we need a new cover photo.
Dude, I went from taking too many pictures to not taking enough pictures.
Dude, you just need to break your digital camera back out. That's why.
I think that's it.
It's a good time to do it. Pack it in the carry-on. Pack it in the carry-on. Yeah.
Digital cameras are back.
So I can't wait. And I can't wait for that. And I can't wait for, I don't know, what's the math according to you, Didi? 15 years from now, sitting around, listening to the Oldies station. Next up, and a big load from Hot Mulligan. Right here on 3WS.
And that's the Brunch Breakdown. We're out.